The National Transportation Safety Board is investigating Saturday's deadly train derailment in Montana. The crash killed at least 3 people and injured a dozen more. The train was traveling from Chicago to Seattle when it derailed Saturday afternoon near Joplin, Montana, which is close to the U.S.-Canada border. Several of the cars toppled over. Crews scrambled to rescue the surviving passengers from the train.
Was able to grab a hold of the coffee table. There's a coffee table that's bolted to the floor, and the train tipped about 45 degrees, and I thought it would stop, but it takes a while for it to stop, and then it continued to go all the way down. At that point, I just held on to that, and my legs were dangling down below, and the windows broke out down below, and which is how we eventually escaped after the train stopped.
Joining me now with the latest is CBS News transportation correspondent Errol Barnett. Errol, what have we learned from Amtrak and local officials so far?
Well, Lana, we know, as you've mentioned, at least 3 people have died and there are more than 50 injuries. So those numbers could creep up. And one thing to also take note of is that these trains along what's called the Empire Builder route there in rural Montana, they can move at 110 miles per hour. Some of them are double-decker. Some of them have very large observation windows as well. And so if that tips over, that may be one of the contributing factors. People can be ejected through those windows. So that may be a reason why there are so many deaths and injuries. I spoke with one passenger who was aboard the 4th carriage, and she described a loud boom that preceded her carriage. She said violently pitching side to side before it tipped and the train stopped. And you can see in the images that have been shared from passengers, some of the trains fully fell over, some of them were on their side. Hers was on its side, and she was very thankful and lucky to only be bumped and bruised. She said that she saw people with broken collarbones and wrists. She saw, as they came out of the train, helicopters overhead and emergency services that were there on scene relatively quickly. But now comes the immediate challenge in helping all of these passengers who are effectively stranded in a remote part of the country get to their destination, but you also have those being healed and taken care for at local hospitals. And so a really unnerving moment for more than 140 passengers. And Amtrak also confirms that some of its own 13 crew members are among those injured. And so investigators will want to speak to everyone and get all the data and information to figure out what the cause was here.
Yeah, the NTSB is sending a crew of investigators to the scene in Joplin, Montana, to look into why this happened. Errol, tell us a little bit more about what specifically they're looking for, and what do we expect to hear from them in the next 24 hours?
Well, CBS News has confirmed that GO team of investigators will be sizable. 14 NTSB officials are on their way to Montana. They'll actually be based in Great Falls. It's roughly 2 hours away, and it really does speak to how remote an area of Montana, which is saying something, this is. They will want to take a look at what's called the event recorder. Every single train has one, and it's effectively the black box of the train. It will tell them speed and give them an indication as to exactly when this derailment took place. They'll also want to see any video recordings. Some of these trains have a forward-facing camera that could help them determine, or at least rule out, what a cause of this may have been. The passenger said to me that, look, and as you can see in these images, this is a clear day with perfect weather conditions. This passenger didn't see any other rail crossings or any other reason for this to take place. That will be confirmed in the video footage. But this will also come down to track maintenance. An investigator, a source I spoke with who has intimate knowledge of these things, told me that this passenger's description of a boom and then the carriage violently rocking back and forth makes it seem as if the rail itself under the train potentially failed. And if that's the case, investigators will want to see the maintenance record of the owner of this track, which is not Amtrak. It's a company called BNSF. That is owned by Berkshire Hathaway, which is Warren Buffett's company. So typically when these trains move through this part of the country and passengers complain about its quality, staff will sometimes say, oh, you can blame Warren Buffett. That's because BNSF, one of his holdings, one of his companies, is responsible for the maintenance in this part of the country. That will be something investigators will want to look into.
I never knew that those rails were owned by other companies, Errol. I think that's probably very interesting to our viewers. As you mentioned, though, there are people who are injured, who are stranded in this very remote area. So how is the town of Joplin helping passengers who are there?
Well, they're helping in every way they can. The passenger I spoke with actually was staged at a town called Chester, its high school, late last evening. You know, the town of Joplin and Chester, which are kind of on either end of where this incident took place, their populations are only in the hundreds, not thousands. And so when more than 140 passengers plus 13 crew are in town, it obviously is noticeable. We know that the local grocery store in Chester was offering food to stranded passengers and to first responders. We know that some of the passengers have been taken to local hotels and places where there's lodging, but part of the challenge here in accommodating all these passengers is that it's just a very, folks that I know that are from this part of the country, a part of the world, say it is in the middle of nowhere. And so getting resources to those who need it is one of the factors that will be at play. But Amtrak does have a responsibility to get these passengers to their destination. In the meantime, though, because today's routes through that area have been canceled, it will be the locals in Joplin, in Chester, who will be helping and doing everything they can to help people seeing that town.
All right, Errol, thank you.